Alright, so let me talk to you guys about my paper that I'm writing. I have to talk about okay, so we had like several texts that we read during this semester, and we have to compare, like we have to use two of them, not compare, but like we have to use two of them, and like synthesize or like present, you just have to use two of them to talk about some sort of like thesis. And I chose to, we read Judith Butler's Gender Trouble, and I chose to talk about that, and Conscience of a Liberal by Krugman, what's his first name? Can't remember. But I'm going to talk about if capitalism, like, okay, so like Judith Butler, what she says is basically that identity is like bad in the long run. Like any sort of grouping process is bad. Any sort of like way of identifying yourself as part of a larger group of people is going to be harmful in the long run for people. And Krugman basically says in Conscience of a Liberal that Republicans take advantage of sort of stigmas and understandings of identity, boundaries, race, sexual orientation, gender, etc. Have historically taken advantage of those like identities in order to gain power, and sort of manipulated the public eye in order to stay in power. And he says Republicans, but he means like conservatives. So that's happened since the beginning of the nation, of the United States of America. And he says basically that the solution to that is to let's see what I wrote here. He just says that the solution to that is just to stop exploiting those characteristics, just stop doing it. And Judith Butler is like, there should be no characteristics. Like, there's no characteristics to any group. There's no groups. Like, stop grouping people. Stop labeling people. Stop identifying people. And what I said is that a major, like, component, like the crux of capitalism, is sort of target demographics. So you need to market to groups. Like, you can't just market to like individuals. You need to market to people who identify as one thing or another, else, you know, capitalism sort of falls apart. And my question is, like, is capitalism possible? Like, historically, we've always had capitalism, and at the same time have groups of people in our society who are oppressed and stigmatized. And I'm curious as to, can we have those target demographics that make capitalism possible without having them be stigmatized and stereotyped and have them be harmful to the members of that group? Judith Butler obviously would say, no, you can't have groups or demographics or anything because the concept of a demographic is oppressive. And Krugman he's kind of, I think he kind of believes in that idea. Obviously, he thinks capitalism is possible, but you need to, you know, not exploit them. But he's not very specific about that solution, really. So I just wanted to explore the idea of capitalism being a group of privileged and underprivileged, but not necessarily correlating to your identity. So, like, there's going to be poor people, but do they have to be, as they have historically been in the past, people of color? Do they have to be, you know, like, you're going to have people who have more wealth than other people. Sorry about this light in the background, it's so annoying. Is it possible to have a higher class that isn't all the same sort of demographic, the same sort of like identity, sexual orientation, race, gender, etc.? You know, is it possible to eliminate the stigmas behind them but still have target demographics? I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. I just have to kind of talk it out. Okay. Bye. That's my thesis.